up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Jay here. It's been a minute. I ain't did anything really in a minute. You know what I'm saying? But trying to get some stuff back. You know what I mean? Get back to moving. Get back to doing. What I do and what not up on this Shillverse. So check me out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So gonna talk about a few things today. And then we'll just kind of peruse around some stuff and see what everybody else is out there talking about. What they got going on or whatnot, or however you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? It's been kind of interesting as of lately with everything going on with you got the merger, you got DC stuff. It's been a lot. So let's start off like this. So let's hop right off into one of the main things that has been going on for about a little over a week now. You know what I'm saying? We have the big acquisition of WB, which has been going on. It's not completed yet. It's not done, obviously. But we had Netflix that was in the running from the jump for a while there. And, Paramount was causing the big issue about it just due to the fact that they felt that WB had some sort of bias going on with what they're doing in their purchasing of it, right? Netflix had a all cash bid, the whole nine. I believe that Netflix was offering, you know what, let's just take a look before we get into some of that stuff, but let's take a look, right? So let me pull this up here. Hold on a second. Let's remove that. Let's add that. All right. So Netflix looks like they were offering 72 million overall. You know what I mean? With the 27.75 per share and whatnot. So it looks like they went up to 31 per share, which came out to 110 billion to purchase Warner Brothers, pretty much. Which, I mean, how could they necessarily turn that down, right? That's a ton of money. Here's the thing, and this information comes from things I've seen around, but John Campea actually spoke on this. How one of the reasons that Warner Brothers was, obviously into the Netflix bid was because it was secure money. Paramount had to go through a lot of things. Ellison had to go to his father to pretty much secure the funds and whatnot. And recently, John Campea was speaking about, and I actually looked into this, that I believe Forbes spoke about their stock price and whatnot being overall as a business and being downgraded to a junk level as far as the perspective for the business, their debt to ratio and all those things, and then acquiring WB and this whole thing, right? He said he thinks it's still going to go through, which is fine. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, I just want him to get it over with. Ideally, I would have liked Netflix to get it, just because since they don't have a film division, it would have kept those fun, a lot of those positions. That's my thing with it. But also, the other side to that is, if Netflix would have got it, it would have jeopardized a lot of employment for people in the industry. Even though Netflix doesn't have a film division, they would have came over. Could have been an issue. Hey, what's up? What's up, Hunter? How's it going, man? Thank you for joining. You know what I'm saying? It could have been an issue. So now that Paramount perceivably does have it, it looks as though they're going to have to lay off a ton of people just to, one, because they already have, a film division in place. So they're going to have to get rid of people from Warner Brothers, and also to level out the debt. That's a problem. But outside of that, the thing that is the biggest thing about this whole acquisition for us is the DC universe. How's that going to go? Which to me from the jump was worrisome, because there is politics involved with Paramount Sundance getting this. President Trump was backing it, but per my understanding, they want it so they can get the news division, CNN, but also so they can kind of create certain, media that goes out, one of the biggest issues that people have with James Gunn is his progressive ideals and things of that nature, and we can kind of see some of those things, Peacemaster, kind of the issue I had with Peacemaster that I agree with people on was like the in the first episode, the scene that goes on the party, orgy scene. A kid seeing Peacemaster, seeing the toys, buying the toys, and wants to watch the Peacemaster show. Yes, it is the parents' responsibility to make sure that their child does not watch mature content, but that does happen. You know what I mean? Like they see Peacemaster in the movies and whatnot. Even though Peacemaster hasn't really been part of anything that could be deemed like G or PG, true enough. But also other little things that James Gunn has put in his content that if you're a progressive, you're fine with it. I'm gonna get to the thoughts on the Lanterns in 1 second. All right. Well, actually, I could do it now. We live, right? My thoughts on the Lanterns. I'm interested to see how it goes. Hal Jordan is the quintessential Lantern, and then you have John Stewart, which is, they have both of them in there, which is fine. Word is that this is going to be like a passing of the torch to John Stewart. I don't know if that's going to go over so well necessarily. People like to see the quintessential character and then go on. So if our first, iteration of this Hal Jordan, he ends up passing on, hopefully he doesn't die in the series. I don't know. Also, they say that the whole storyline to this is it's going to have some sort of political undertones to it. Some may say racial, just from little stuff that's leaked out. I don't necessarily like that idea, but I understand it because, back in the day with certain, properties, they were fighting Adolf. Because I'm not going to do YouTube, I'm not going to say the totality, but they're fighting Adolf, or they're fighting, certain people from like Vietnam, things like that. Because it always does have a geopolitical aspect to it to a certain extent. And right now, this is the status that the world is in. I do think there's aspects of it that you can address and weave around. Peacemaker did it in this season of Peacemaker. So I'm torn on it. I want to see more though. Let us see the suits. Let us see some live action. Let's get a vibe for the tone of the show so we know what we're seeing. Because right now it's more my curiosity than my interest because they haven't shown anything to really get me interested in it like that. I'm more interested in, Supergirl coming up. I'm more interested in Man of Tomorrow, and it's literally just been mock-ups and light casting for that. So Bold and the Brave, I'm more interested in them. This one just has my curiosity. I need to see more though. What are your thoughts on Lantern? You know what I mean? Hop in the chat, let me know. But yeah, I was saying with this, going back to the whole geopolitical thing, that's one of the things that they want to kind of take out of the Gunn universe. Some of the stuff from Peacemaster. They want to remove any type of, they aspects to things, which I feel like that's a fine line. I personally, I don't have a problem with anything done in good taste. And that's my big thing, done in good taste. I'm not very quick to call something woke. I'm not very quick to shoot something down just because it may not agree with every aspect that I have in line for it. And there are people that will do that. And Paramount has made it clear that they want to do those things, which, they've always up to them. Now, how this relates to the Snyderverse, right? Because let me pull this up here. John Campy was also talking about how James Gunn may not want to work for Paramount in general, which if that's the route they're going, I can understand that because he has always been one to kind of push certain boundaries. He has, things that he did in Guardians of the Galaxy had those undertones to it. Now it's a difference taking on Guardians of the Galaxy and Superman, right? So John Campy was saying that he may just leave. He may just ask for his release and go on maybe to Marvel, maybe to, other things. And I'm okay with that. You don't want a director especially the person who is creating the universe, if they don't want to be there, if they don't want to work for the people that they're working for, Zaslav may just let him go, and that's fine. My thing with it is that does not mean run directly to Zack Snyder. And if you do run to Zack Snyder, that does not mean implement the Snyderverse again, right? I don't think they need to restart this universe. We just got Superman. We're getting a Supergirl, and we're going to get Man of Tomorrow, because Gunn's not going to be gone before Man of Tomorrow is done. If they want to bring Zack Snyder in, which I'm not against, just not for the Snyderverse per se, maybe bring some of those elements in. If Gunn gets a new Batman for the Brave and the Bold, and you have this Superman, and Zack comes in now, maybe maybe work with this universe and push it with his aesthetics and stuff. That's the thing I've always said. I always say ideally Gunn and Zack working together. Probably not going to happen, especially if you need to be ahead of a universe. But if they want Zack in there, cool. Run with David Cornsweet as your Superman. Make him your new Henry Cavill, and add those elements of your universe that work and the elements of this one that work together. Do not restart the whole universe to reinstate the Snyderverse that it died or whatnot. Let's keep it moving. You know what I mean? That's my whole thing with that. If Gunn goes to well, you know what? How about this? Let me finish this point, and I will watch it on here live with y'all and give my live reaction, because I didn't even know it was out. So thank you for letting me know. I've been busy. I just see I ain't been on. This is the first time I got some free time. So, but you know what? Let's jump over and do that right now, because now I am very curious to see. So give me 1 second while I pull this here up, and we will see the Lanterns trailer together. Thank you very much. Oh boy, random music crap just playing. Even though y'all can't see it. There we go. All right. Lanterns trailer. Is it? Let's see if they're a new one, or if you're talking about the one that came out a couple of months ago. 1 second. Yeah, if you're speaking about the one that came out a couple of months ago, I did see that one. And that's what I mean with that one, with the tone. They kind of show a light amount of the tone. Here, let me pull it up so you can verify for me if this is the one here. 1 second. Boom. Okay, give me 1 second. Thank you. Thank you, Hunter. I'm going to find it right now and get to it, because but so have you seen it, Hunter? If you have, what did you think? I'm trying to pull it up right now. Yep, Lanterns is trending. Boom. Okay, 1 second here. Jump it over to my computer. Kind of okay. See, that's what I was hoping it wouldn't be something like that, man. Yep, this is definitely the trailer. All right. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. Let me pull it up here. All right. Thank you for being patient. Let's remove that. Let's add this here. All right, let's take a look at this. Let me shut off this background music right quick.
With all due respect, We've been training for what, 2 months? And I haven't even worn the ring yet.
Don't get hung up on the jewelry, Junior. You're just a fucking substitute teacher. You're not ready to get up in front of the class until the ring says you are.
All right.
I could have died.
You want me to train you? I'm training you. Something is off here. I can feel it.
This is my town. You're a big shot. Noted. But stay the fuck out of my way.
Think she hates your guts.
It's the way she hates them.
This is a stupid plan.
Not that stupid.
That I don't doubt. The Green Lantern's oath is to protect people. And we both know I do a better job of this than you.
This is my job. As long as I'm alive, that ain't changing. So take a deep breath, Junior.
You're old. You're tired. And your time is up.
I don't understand. Who are you exactly?
Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
Have you ever talked with the other Lanterns?
I'm the only human. They're aliens. One of them's a fucking squirrel.
How do I feel about that? It really kind of feels like True Detective-ish. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. It looks okay. Interested. I like the little glimpse of the suit. The glimpse of the suit was cool. I want to see it in totality. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still torn on the casting. Kyle Chandler, I like him as an actor. I really do. And if he's playing an older Hal, that's cool. He looks like he may have the vibe, you know, so I can rock with that a little bit. I'm not too sold on the Aaron Pierre, to be perfectly honest with you. But he has that stoic vibe to him. It was just a mad trailer. I'm gonna be honest with you. It looked too True Detective-ish to me. No cosmic anything to it really. I'm not sold. I gotta be honest. I'm not sold right now. I'm not shooting it down. I'm just not sold, man. I'm still open to it for sure. It gave a little bit more. It showed more of their personalities, so I'm willing to see that. And even though I said I don't like Aaron Pierre overall, I think he can play this role, and I think if he does look like he's gonna pull that off because what was the movie he did on Netflix, Rocky Ridge or something like that, where he played a soldier. So I could see him doing that, and I way rather him do this than Black Panther, as they were talking about. He's supposed to be one of the main people up for it. Do not give him that role either. But I'm open to it. I'm cool. You know, let me put my comments on the stage, sir. I'm cool. Sorry, I thought I had it up already. But it's just like, you know, like Hunter said, it's okay. It's just really okay-ish right now. I think they need to add some more elements to it to really get it rocking. You know, so but I'm still gonna watch it. It comes out August. That's my birthday month, so that's gonna be cool. But yeah, I don't know. I think Hunter said it perfect. It's okay. It's okay, and nothing's wrong with that. You know, we got a few more months for it. We see Hal fly off, and I will say the flying looked okay. You know, it didn't look too wonky to me. They may have some more work to do on those things and whatnot. It's interesting. It looks interesting. I just don't like how grounded. It seems a little bit too grounded for me. I guess that's my biggest problem. It looks like True Detective down in Texas doing something, and that's the part of it that is problematic to me, to be honest with you. But overall, still open to it. Still looks okay. My blur intensity is crazy right now. Let me try and lighten that up a little bit. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. You know what I mean? So yeah. But that kind of, keeps in the realm of what I was saying. Let me see which other comment here. Hal Jordan in the comics has his suits hanging on hangers in the closet. And I like that. That's one of the things I did like. That was only a comment I seen there. That and the you saying it's okay, and I agree with you on that. You know what I mean, I do. I think I'm gonna watch it again. I might even run it back whilst I'm doing this live to give it another look, because that was just a little, that first view of it. So I'm gonna run that back in a second. I'm gonna let that kind of sit on my brain for just a split second. But yeah, and the reason why is because now these lanterns are part of this DCU, right? So let's say that this ends up being a very good series. Let's see if it ends up being a very good series. If it does, that's another reason to stick with this universe. Just because Gunn started it, if he leaves, that does not mean destroy. That's what we do not want to. And even if they try to go back to Snyderverse, Tyrone Magnus, right? And on my other channel, and I think I got the They Clone Tyrone video tagged in here in my playlist. I've had a problem with his view on things, but the whole thing is if Zach comes back, maybe have him run an Elseworld thing, which I could see them doing, but that just lends to a bunch of confusion. Because I mean, what, 3 Batman? We have Ben Affleck. If Snyder gets it back, we'll have the Brave and the Bold, and we'll have the Batman, which we're not getting for another year or so anyways. That's just too much confusion. 2 Supermans, too much confusion. And, let's see here. There's a concept art Atlanta. Yes, I do. Let me see here. I will put my Instagram in here. You can shoot it to me. Actually, it's gonna be my old one, but here, send it here. That's where you shoot it to. That was my channel before I broke it off to the Shillverse, because I had everything over on that channel. Then I separated them. But yeah, shoot it there, and I will get in and take a look, because I'm very curious to see how they look and whatnot. But yeah, so I don't know. There's a chance this merger won't go through, and if so, then Paramount has to pay. I think they said they already paid them like $2.8 billion. It could have got up to $7 billion. This is just like the title says, this is just a big cluster F, and with the idea of if Gunn were to leave, what do you guys think about that? Should Zach just come in and restore the Snyderverse, dump this whole thing? I don't think so. If he comes back, have him take this over. Also, Henry Cavill's busy. I did a video. Henry Cavill is about to be a busy man. He has Highlander coming out. He has Warhammer 40,000 coming out, amongst other projects. And truth be told, here's the biggest problem I have with Henry Cavill, and he is one of my favorite. Okay, hold on. I just got. Okay, let me throw that in here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let me throw this over here. 1 second. There, perfect. second here. I'm about to drop this here. So let me go back over here before we so I can pull this up. And there we go. All right, so Hunter shot me the image of the concept art for the Green Lantern, that there. And that does look like close to the one they had in the trailer. It obviously is a little bit more fleshed out in the trailer. From the part we can see, looks like it has like it's been sitting in the closet for a while. Looks like it has some almost like rusted gold access to it. But if this is, I can get down with this. This works. You know, this is that'll be good. You know, and this may even be because since we're getting the older Hal, they may be showing, you know, him younger and then jumping forward to where, you know, now we get Stewart in there and whatnot. So yeah, I rocks with this. This looks good. It's way better than that damn Ryan Reynolds CG junk they had. You know, even though I think if they could have found a way to do that more practically, it wouldn't have looked as bad. I think it would have been okay, to be perfectly honest with you. The movie sucked, but overall, you know, not the worst thing. You know, not the worst. So yeah, I like that. I like that. So again, I'm open to it. You know, I'm definitely open to it. Like I said, Kyle Chandler, I'm really open to him as an actor. I think he can pull this off. He has enough comedic timing, able to be a straight man, you know. And then Aaron Pierre, even though he wouldn't have been my first choice probably would have been somebody like Aldous Hodge. I think he would have been good, but I think they wanted him, and he still would have been younger than Kyle Chandler for the role. So I think Aldous Hodge would have brought more of a command to it, but let's see what Aaron Pierre can do. He is a little bit younger. I just don't want them to kill off Hal. We can't do that, because that'll be problematic. You know, you can't just automatically just usher out the old and for the new. You know, so, you know, yeah, don't want to do that at all. And then, you know, back to this, yeah, if Gunn goes, if Snyder comes, just have Snyder run this. And honestly, I think Snyder could take David Cornswet and take kind of what, if he can merge his stuff with what Gunn did, he could probably make a badass universe. I think Gunn can too, keeping that bright, vibrant poppiness that was missing from the DCEU, that was everything people were crying about, to the point to where when they redid Justice League, they tried to brighten it, and it looked horrible to me. I really, Man of Steel is in my top 2 Superman movies all time. Henry Cavill was a badass Superman in that movie and in Batman versus Superman, but we just, that universe was, there's a reason why it failed. There's a reason why it failed, you know what I mean? And they just need to bring elements to it. Give the guys that want that, give them that big dude bro in the gym look, because that's all they really care about. They don't give a damn about the story, because let's be honest, the stories that Zach crafted, him and Goyer crafted, they weren't good. And just because Christopher Nolan had his hands in it, he did not craft it. It's not like the Dark Knight trilogy. It's not like that. It's not the same thing. You know, Goyer did not craft that in that manner, you know? So let's see. I definitely will. I'm definitely going to do some more live streams. You know, I have my Shillverse, and then I have like 2 other channels. I have a lot going on, but this here, I love talking about this and, you know, interact. I'm going to do more lives. If people want to come up, you know, I'm definitely going to be doing some more of this. You know, I took some time off, kids, life, you know, movies, but yeah. So we're definitely going to be doing some more of those. And this here, so I want to bring this up here, and I'm gonna jump over and talk about some Marvel stuff in a second too. No, I don't believe they can. So WB or DC, that license is whole, kind of like how Marvel is now to a certain extent outside of stuff with Sony. WB has DC in totality. But I mean, they can, you know, but they can't, I don't think they can send it out to other, they would have to sell it. I think they could license it off. I think they could give the rights for certain things, but that gets messy, and they're just not going to do that. You know, they're going to keep that at home. Now Paramount Paramount buys it, they're getting DC and its licensing. Who knows, especially since they are going to have the issues with this funding going on. Like I said, and to the point to where they said when they do start releasing projects as a whole, Paramount, if they get WB, they're not going to have enough money to release a lot of content. They're not going to release a lot of projects right at first because they're going to have to do so much stuff. Then they're not going to be that profitable at first, which was the main reason I did not want, outside of the political biasness behind it. That's the other reason why I did. I really wish they would have just bought CNN and bought some of the, other little assets instead, because now they're going to have to turn around and sell some assets. They're not going to sell DC. That's like they're just not gonna do it. That's like Disney turning around and selling Marvel now. It's not gonna happen. I just hope they do right by it at the end of the day. I wasn't against. Let's see. How much did it cost? How much would it cost for Disney to buy DC? Well, I'm not sure. Let me see what their value possibly is. Give me 1 second here. But then here's the other problem with that. Let's say Disney did go to try to buy DC. Somebody will step in and say that they're monopolizing, because Disney has a lot of stuff in general already, right? They have tons of studios and whatnot. They have Lucasfilms or the whole nine. So if they were to acquire DC, I'm pretty sure they would say that would come into an issue. And I don't think the regulatory people would let it pass. I think they would say that that's monopolizing on some areas, which, yeah, I think so. Would it be cool? Because then we could get a bunch of crossover and stuff. Yeah. Do I think they could do great with it? Yeah. But I wouldn't want Disney to have it for, depends on who oversees it. But let me see here. All right. So give me 1 second here. So they are right now, DCU Studios. They're not. Independently, it's looking like it could be in a range between 10 to 30 billion. That's what I'm seeing, about 10 to 30 billion, I'm guessing. That's just a rough. I don't know that's just a quick search. But I don't think they would. For somebody to buy DC from Paramount, if they get them, they would have to overpay. And I mean, maybe Netflix could just go ahead and see if they could buy, the DCU from Paramount. And I think that would be a good idea, actually. After, this obviously wouldn't happen for about a year or so. But after the acquisition doesn't go through, and hey, maybe Netflix says, hey, you know what? Hey, Paramount, Sundance, the Ellisons, you guys are having you're down already. You got the other aspects that you want as far as CNN and some of the other, channels or things and whatnot. Let us buy that DC from you for, hey, let's say we'll give you $50 million for it. I could see that, especially depending on how much, how things go, because there's, along with this deal, there's still the whole thing about some of the finances being Saudi backed and whatnot. So yeah, I think that would be a good idea, but I think they're valued around 10 in between 10 and 30 for that studio specifically. So yeah, and that's, like I said, that's just off a light look. So those aren't like staunch figures or whatnot. But yeah, because you got to think, whoever buys that, they get that along with the catalog, and that's the big thing. They would get the catalog of the Dark Knight trilogy and all the way back. And you know what I mean? So that's the whole thing. So yeah, that'll be cool. But so with this here, they talking about, you know, Zack Snyder being quote unquote gun ho on getting Dark Knight Returns and Justice League finale. Dark Knight Returns, fine. I'm cool with that. I think a Justice League finale is a long shot. That's a very long shot. Here's why. What would that Justice League look like? Like I said, Henry Cavill is busy, right? And the finale, is that going to be the two-parter? Because that was supposed to be a trilogy, mind you, right? So Henry Cavill, busy. Ben Affleck would probably sign on to do a standalone Batman, possibly not. Who knows what he has coming up, right? Gal Gadot. She, you know, her status has climbed in part because of Wonder Woman. Now she's not really doing anything, but fiscally, you know, what she charges, her price has gone up. Ben Affleck has, you know, is worth a pretty penny. Are you going to get Ezra Miller back for Flash? Probably not. Are you going to be working with Ray Fisher again? Probably not. Are you going to continue with Jesse Eisenberg? You know, like, there's more to it than just Zach wanting to do it. He has to line all these people up to get them to come back and do it and whatnot. And that can be tough, you know? The Zack Snyder version of what, the Justice League? Oh, the 4-hour thing. Yeah. And that was better. I will say that was better. It fleshed it out. You know, here's the thing about Zack. Like, I'm still a Zack fan. You know, I'm still a Zack Snyder fan. I love Dawn of the Dead. I still watch Watchmen, even though, you know, here's the thing. As James Gunn does, Zack likes to take his own, you know, he likes to take leisure with these properties. Like, you know, oh, nobody can do Watchmen, the ending with the, you know, the giant squid. Well, HBO did it. Now they did it in TV show, but they did it. You know, Zack takes his leisure with certain things. And then here's my biggest thing. We got Man of Steel. That was cool. It was a very confined story. He did well with that. Had his issues. Every Zack Snyder project had his issues, but it was cool. Then we get Batman versus Superman. This big grandiose idea. It was okay. It wasn't well. There's a lot of things that dropped in that. And then to even really get a cohesive story, what did you have to get? You had to get a director's cut because, you know, either him or Goyer could not write it or truncate it into that already long movie that they had. So you had to get a director's cut to get the full feeling and flesh that movie out. Okay, fine. Then we get to Justice League. And to get his full scope of that, it ended up having to be him coming back, doing the Zack Snyder cut, which, you know, cool. That came out during, you know, the C-19 time frame. So that helped everybody just being in the house, you know, and whatnot. But it was 4 hours to flesh out one movie. Like, that shouldn't have to be the case. And it's not like these movies are that deep of a story that he's telling. They're not. Those stories that he's telling, they're not that deep. I gotta be honest. You know, this is not a Martin Scorsese written type of thing. It's not that serious. You know, and the other problem with that universe is, like I said, between Zack's Lex and Gunn's Lex, I prefer Gunn's. You know, I prefer, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but I prefer his version of Lex versus Jesse Eisenberg. And I, you know, that erratic now, it seems as though he's going to kind of calm him down. It looks like, you know, so maybe we would get a different version of that Lex. Are we going to get Jared Leto back as the Joker? Are we going to get him back as the Joker? And we just had the Joker, you know, dual movie with Joaquin Phoenix. And mind you, Jared Leto is off doing Masters of the Universe now because he is Skeletor. And there's something else that he's doing where he's the villain also. You know, so again, these people are busy. I just don't see that coming to fruition. I just don't. But Ben Affleck, he could probably get Ben Affleck for a one-off because Ben Affleck does, of everybody, he deserves that chance to have his standalone. He didn't get that. Henry deserved to have a sequel to Man of Steel, but it didn't happen. But at least he still has Man of Steel, which is a classic Superman movie that he can rest his head on and say, hey, at least I did this. But if not, hey, if Gunn does walk away after Man of Tomorrow before he does Brave and the Bold, bring Zach in, let Zach take that over, make some critiques, and build it out there. He gets his own Batman and an established Superman who, you know, has two movies in the can. And who, I mean, if he does walk away after Man Tomorrow, Gunn might go all in on a Man Tomorrow and make it just epic. You know, think about it. He'll have a universe fleshed out already now. He'll have Superman. We already got Lex established. We're going to have Supergirl. We're going to have Lanterns. Clayface will be out by then because Clayface is coming out. You know, so now he got some stuff to work with. You know, we got some things to, you know, to get going with here. And I think that's a good thing. You know, so I still don't want, hey, no, the Snyderverse, but if you want to bring Zach in, have him work with this universe, I could go with that. Get him to redo the suits, right? Or the Superman suit, you know, change a little bit. Hell, he gets to start fresh but already have some paint on the canvas already. Hey, he's up and moving, you know, and that's not going to, the Snyder Bros are not going to like that because they want a continuation of it. It's just probably not going to come together the way they think. Most things don't. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. So yeah, that's what those couple of things I wanted to talk about with DC. So hey, if Gunn's gonna go, if he chooses to go, cool. Ellison said he wants to keep him, but if he wants to go, I understand why. But we gotta see if this whole thing even goes through first, right? So guess we'll see what's happening with that. Give me 1 second. Let me flip some stuff up here because I want to talk a little bit about, and I kind of touched on it. Hold on 1 second here. I kind of touched on it. Aaron Pierre. 1 second here. So Aaron Pierre and the possibility of him being the Black Panther. I don't like this idea at all, right? I really, truly, at my core, I just don't. And give me 1 second, let me take this down. The reason I don't like this at all is because he is not, I don't think he is a fit for that, for Black Panther 3. I don't think he is a fit. I shouldn't have that little thing on there, but whatever. As you can see, this photo comes from New Rock Stars. I don't think he's a fit for it. I just don't want the, yeah, he's a big guy, but he just don't have even the look for Black Panther to me. As weird as that sounds. Like if they're doing this whole Elseworld thing, right? And he comes in, if he's going to be in the Black Panther movies coming up, right? Let's say that he is. Let me throw a picture of him up really quickly here. I'm gonna tell you who I would like for him to be. And this is still a very prominent role. So if he comes in to the Black Panther universe, I don't think he should be Black Panther. But if they're doing, you know, the you know, we have the incursions and smashing the world, I would be down for him to play a new version of Killmonger. Because Michael B. Jordan is off doing other things now, right? He's off doing other things. His Killmonger died, just like Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther died. So if you're going to bring them back and try and make some more epic stories with those two characters, bring back Killmonger, get him to be Killmonger. That sounds more, you know, legit to me. 1 second here. And I want to show you my pick for Black Panther, which, I mean, I'm not saying it's my pick, like it's not one of the most known picks that people are talking about to get to play the role, you know, obviously. But 1 second here. Pull this here up. But if we got him as Killmonger, right? New Killmonger, new stories, boom. Now, I used to say Eldest Hodge, but I mean Damson Idris. There you go. You got your new Black Panther, Damson. Good actor. Just seen him in F1. He did really good in that. Snowfall. He could carry it. You know, he is of African descent. Let's see here. And so you got, if he's Black Panther, he's Killmonger, boom. And here's the thing. Those two guys are young enough to keep it going. I think Damson may just have turned 30, 31. Same thing with Aaron Pierre. Then you got, because mind you, Chadwick Boseman was 40 at the time, right? I think he was 40 when he got the role, or had just passed that 40, 42, something of that nature. Michael B. Jordan's getting to that 40 range. He's not there quite yet, but his character's dead, right? These two can carry this on for years and get it rocking and whatnot. So I like that. And then we have the X-Men coming in. You get a young Storm. Now you get the Black Panther Storm thing going together. And I'm telling you, I think I know who they will probably pick for Storm. I don't like this person as an actress. I really don't. But she is, I think, she is the most viable person, especially now because she's kind of making moves. You know, she's, and honestly, she kind of has the build for it. So let me pull her up here. But this is who I think, if they're going to bring in the Storm around those actors' ages to play off of Damson, if it were somebody like him and whatnot, I think that this lady right here, Tiana Taylor, that was a risque picture I picked. I didn't even know that was that. So let me find a better one of her. But I think Tiana Taylor for Storm would be the way to go. She has the age. She kind of has the look. I mean, let's be honest, she has the body. If they decide to make her, you know, wear something that, you know, looks a certain way. She has been nominated for an Academy Award. She just won the Golden Globe for her role in the Leonardo DiCaprio movie or whatnot. I forget what it's called. She would be the Storm. So there's your core going forward. That's what I would think, you know. I could see her for Vixen. I mean, and you know, I think she, whatever role they put her in, I think she'll do good. I don't think she's a great actress, but I think she's serviceable, and she has the name right now to lend to some things. You know, I'm actually gonna do, so I have a series on my other channel that I do called where I recast movies, right? Me and another person, we go back and forth. Comic book movies can be a little bit, they're not really tougher, but I'm gonna do one here. I just had to pick the movie. I don't want to do Black Panther, but I'm gonna do a recast over here because it's just fun to do in general. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. But yeah. So that's what the stuff I want to talk about for the time being. I'm gonna come back again today. Actually, I'm gonna do another live. I just want to touch base with y'all. Hunter, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, and honestly, if you ever want to talk about some stuff, you know, just contact me. You got my Instagram. Reach out if you're a person that wants to, you know, we can do a live stream and go over some stuff and whatnot, man. I really appreciate you. You know what I mean? Let me know about that trailer and everything. And I will be back on in about a little bit later today, probably after my daughter gets done with the track meet and whatnot. So. Hey, I'm Jay. This is the Shillverse. Oh, also, I need to start saying is give me a like, comment, subscribe. But I do request videos. You'll see on there I did the one for somebody requested me do that video on James Gunn. Did it. I'm gonna do a couple. And I'm going to be sending my challenge back out to Harsh Critics because he been running for the longest. That man's running scared, don't want to debate me whatsoever. So, right, y'all. I'm Jay. I'm out. See y'all in a few hours. Peace.